So I'm at the boat. I'm trying to sell at the moment, and it's just been a really bad day, and I'm just doing my best with stuff despite everything, and yeah, so I thought I'd make a live stream to center my honest from the pain, and find myself anywhere else that's a center. So in other words, I'm sawing a bit of wood at the moment. So in other words, what's real, what's reality for me is very, very painful. And where my mental health keeps putting me just makes the pain worse. So I'm hoping that with a live stream and just hearing my voice for enough time, I'll be able to find myself in a different centre, a different place, and I'll just be able to continue in that place and get on there, even though it would be a lie. It'd just be like the best solution to my situation. So that's what the aim of the live stream is. And in the background, I don't know if anybody saw the video when I finally moored up here back 2 weeks back, whatever it was, and I showed you the backdrop of where this boat is, and it's right by West Ham Stadium, the London Stadium, the Olympic Stadium. And right now there's a match going on. And as much as I complain about football and the coronavirus and mass attendance and how it's all wrong and blah blah blah, just where I'm finding myself in the present moment, it's not too bad backdrop to have, you know, like what's the capacity, 50,000 cheering fans, you know, life, and it's a nice thing. It's weird. I mean, my mental health keeps. I'm in pain, and the one thing that keeps coming to mind is a post I saw on Facebook of a friend that I'm obviously friends with on there, but I never really knew her, and she says she's lost her phone. And she's considering purchasing a new phone. And it just keeps coming to mind. I don't know why. As you can tell, my life is a bit empty and void at the moment. So much so that I'm making live streams about nothing, really. And one of the things I'd like to do, but it might be a few weeks, 3-4 weeks. Hopefully 3-4 weeks I'll be able to make a start, and that is finish the tattoos on my legs. I don't know if they show actually on where I'm just sitting, and what the tattoo is. I'm gonna have the lymphatic system, the nervous system, the I can't remember what the correct way to pronounce it is, but basically the artery system, 3 systems, basically. And I'm going to have the lines and different colours going down my leg, and on the other side what you see is going to be like roots reflecting the bodily systems, but in the way of roots, like tree roots on the other leg. And I've made the start on my thighs, and on my left leg it's I've done the nervous system in like a baby blue, an electric blue, and I just look a bit like one of the drug addicts or alcoholics that have half, tattoos on their fingers with love and hate and blah blah blah. I look a bit like that at the moment when it's unfinished, and with the way I am, obviously how many times I bang on about me being autistic and OCD, but I hate stuff unfinished, and I've just not been able to give any time to it. So I'd really like to spend half an hour a day, whatever, tattooing, and get into a place with it. And it's hard to talk about positive stuff, but it's really, really hard to talk about positive stuff. But where I'm where I'm having a hard time at the moment, honestly, things are likely to get harder, more difficult, more challenging. I'm going to face them head on. There's been 1 or 2 positives that have come my way, like, well, through it, just focus on this, focus on the other thing. And I've got 2 things at the moment, and I totally forgot about the tattooing. Focus on that will be positive. I mean, I've got 4 things because I've got to fix up my boat, the boat I'm moving on to, again in a couple of weeks, and it's not really habitable at the moment. So that's what I'll be doing on the boat. And so that's a positive. I enjoy DIY. I enjoy making things come to fruition. I enjoy projects. So that's 4 things I've got to focus on, And if I can do a bit of exercise, that's 5 things I've got going for me on a daily basis that I can. Well, like the live streams, that's 6 things. The live streams. So I've got 6 things that some life, some something to breathe to, something to say, right, well, I'm having a difficult time at the moment. What one of those 6 things can I do right now in the present moment? And I can't really feel it. I'm smoking tobacco and I don't like the taste at all, not this specific blend. I've not tried other blends, but it's really healing, the tobacco, at the moment. But I just enjoy the taste of hemp, not that I feel that it does anything at the moment. Once upon a time the hemp was helpful, just its benefits have just like sort of subsided. So smoking it is pointless other than the taste, and it's just the taste to distract from the tobacco taste. But the tobacco taste is very healing at the moment. And I'm just in that place where any positives aren't really positives. Anything I have, I can't really be grateful for. And I know it's there to and it should be taken that way. But that's just where I find myself. It's like I don't know if it's because of my spiritual understandings and nature, but you obviously apply non-attachment with spirituality, and with non-attachment you understand what's important in life, and you discredit all possessions, you discredit the material. But in terms of life, you got to be practical, and health is the most important thing. If we're going to have any possession in this world, you've got to keep it simple. And the first thing that we have to respect in that way, you know, if you're spiritual and you're applying non-attachment, you can argue that, well, yeah, non-attachment, but you don't look after your own body, you're just going to make everything harder. So where I'm suffering with my body, take the approach of, well, you know, fuck everything else, sod everything else. In this moment, it doesn't mean a thing when I'm suffering on a physical level. So I can't really take the appropriate gratitude for all of this stuff. My home, which would probably be the second thing, you know, shelter. It gives you shelter, it gives you the ability to keep warm, to most homes should have a facility to cook, isn't it? So the ability to feed yourself, and And that's why I persist with this. But in honesty, I can't go past my physical body at the moment, but I acknowledge what it means. I acknowledge, should circumstances change, there's gratitude there instantly for this stuff. But in the present moment, it really doesn't come into decision making beyond the body. But life doesn't allow me to really care for my body without taking into consideration my home first, because the world is the world. And if you don't take care of your home, your body's going to suffer. So I have to persist beyond what my body is asking to take care of my home, my life. But that's where the gratitude sort of slips again, because it's like I'm being forced to do this beyond what I would otherwise choose to do. And just to acknowledge the situation and to see it for what it is, and to I don't know what you want to say, wish or aim for sense to return one day to this ridiculous scenario where we've got to prioritise these sort of things with foresight. In terms of survival. But it's good for my mind too, where I am experiencing all this stuff, to come and do a bit of DIY work, something physical, something that is enjoyable given the right circumstances. But it's just like blow after blow in terms of life really making it super challenging, and where it is super challenging, and it is like ridiculously challenging in the sense that as I said, I'm spiritual, so I believe there's a higher force. I believe we're being guided and taught valuable life lessons along the way, and where that's happening, I forget what I was going to say. But it's helping the live stream at the moment. And so it's this DIY. It's just the live stream is allowing me to distract myself from the whatever discomforts I have to just do get into this what it needs doing here, and this will allow me to just structure my life and mind when I end the live stream better. Got ducks in the background. Ducks, swans, what? Some bird making a noise. Better than my neighbours complaining to me. So there's 7 things. I've got nature too. You know, really helpful live stream. Oh, they've just scored. They've just scored. West Ham have just scored. 50,000 fans, people. I would have said idiots on a live stream before. Well, they might not have scored. They might be controversial. But coming to life. It's I'm in a weird place, obviously, so I'm just noticing what's surrounding me, what life is giving to me, and where I find myself in the present moment. I'm not able to get beyond myself on a daily basis, well, not necessarily a daily basis, but in the moment basis, to notice. But 8 is the magic number, isn't it? So I wonder if over this live stream there'll be another one that comes to light, and I can say, oh, I've got 8 things that I can focus on. Something positive. But it might not, and it might come to me after. I might get 9. 9 is the number of completion. 8 is infinity, so if I get to 8 and it stays at 8, who knows? I might just be knocking out positive live streams all the time. You won't recognise who you're looking at. But I feel like I've done the right thing today, because I cancelled 2 viewings for this boat, and it was gutting to do, because I would have loved to have sold this boat. It would have allowed my financial situation to be a lot freer, and my mind a lot less burdened of stuff I have to do and problems I have to look after. But I've sort of realised a few weeks back that if I don't start slowing down and sort of starting to look at the stress in my life and appeasing it, you know, like I've got this stressful thing, it might be a good idea not to do it that way, and I've got this stressful thing, try and do it a different way, or let's just try and miss it altogether. That's what essentially. When I got to the boat just now, it was like I had to be here at a certain time with my mind as it was today. It would have been impossible. If my mind was working, it would have been helpful. But it wasn't. It was just the way it went. So, either way, it's a case of is what was needed for me, because my situation was a situation first, and it's really difficult to experience in the first instance, and it's really difficult to admit to myself that that's my life experience, that's what I have to experience. Because it's unpleasant, it's hard. But if I dare to just admit that that's the situation and look at it in a practical way, it's nice to smoke the hemp again. The taste, well, I say hemp, it's mostly a lavender base, and that's what I taste. And actually the hemp I smoke in here is like a hashish, which is a thick, like cake type mixture, and it's almost got like a taste to it in itself that isn't hemp. Like when you smoke hemp, it's got a taste. So this doesn't taste of hemp at all, but obviously the normal hemp, obviously there is a taste of the hashish, but it's a totally different taste to normal hemp. So it doesn't taste of normal hemp at all, and it's just really nice to smoke the lavender. This is really helping me because it's been a very hard day, and I don't know where to put myself, and it's almost like I'm finding something that's normal and has a reference to something. And it's allowed. I'm focused, I know what I'm doing here. It's very simple tasks. If I don't know how to do it, I'll have to get somebody else, or I'll have to do my research up until the point I'm like confident. But what I'm doing here is very simple, and it isn't too challenging. but if I didn't make this live stream right now, it would be like torturous. There's a real want in me in this place where I found myself, of this extremely difficult place to connect with others. I feel very, very vulnerable, and in that vulnerability, it's the memories of connecting to people in the past come to mind. And obviously I haven't felt anything in way of that since my dad was alive, and unfortunately, even though there was that element of comfort towards me, I held a lot of resent to him and a lot of hatred towards him, because I still blame him for my mental health. So it was a very weird situation, and it wasn't 100% what someone might experience from, you know, a nice relationship, a nice interaction with somebody, but that was the last time I really had that. Other than that, it's been a lot longer, a lot longer. So my dad passed away, 2 years ago? Something like that. And before that, we're talking years before that, before I had a, you know, warming experience with somebody. And in truth, from what I understand as a warming experience and what I really crave now, we have to go back to before my mental health disorder started, where I felt that. So we're talking 12 years, 11 years, 12 years, something like that. But because it was 12 years since I've experienced that, it was 24 years where I had that warmth of people, where I had that element of connection with people. So it's double what I've gone without. So whatever the conditioning was before, it's stronger than the reality of the past 12 years. But in all honesty, it's not likely to take place, given the past 12 years have been a more recent, more real, more present reality. It's like a natural craving within me. It's a tough place to find myself, if I'm honest, and stating it now, it's just like I realise it's not going to happen. What I crave isn't going to come to fruition. So I realise I'm actually in a cold place, and that's the reality. Or at least I find myself in a place where I can't admit reality due to desire. And due to that desire and due to that want, it feels cold, which is probably a more accurate description. like, I've been craving the food a lot, and I've been eating like quite a bit, like big meals for the first time in a while, because well, I feel like I'm empty. So it's one of the few things at the moment that's like I'm impartial to food. I'm very healthy with my diet and my life and my mentality to it. So if I ever want to eat more, there isn't a reason why I can't eat more. And it just so happens I'm eating more at the moment, and I see the reason behind it. And it doesn't really matter, if I'm honest, because it's just like, I've got to eat, and it's all about the hunger and the moment. There's nothing more to it than that. And hunger is just nutrition. If your body's asking for something, then feed it. If it's good food, then what's the problem? So that's the general mentality. Obviously I see the psychological hacks and blah blah blah. That could be contributing to it. But it's more a case of like, my life has just become hard everywhere else. Like, the enjoyment I got from other things has just like slowly withered away. And food has always been enjoyable. If you cook good food, there shouldn't be a reason why it's not. So that's one of the few things that remains in my life that I'm like, I can't deny is enjoyable. So I'm eating more. Is there a problem with that? As you can tell, I go into a lot of detail and thought about stuff like this, and it's just another thing that I'm sharing, that I've given thought to in the past and a lot of energy to find some form of balance, some form of system where I just don't have to fucking think about it. If I'm honest, that's the whole point. Because I do think about shit a lot, as you can tell. And the whole point is just find a way that works, that appeases all your life, all your mind, and forget about it. So that's what I've done with food, and that's what I've done with a lot of my life. Ooh. Getting there slowly with this. A weird thing's been happening because I've got a weird relationship with people. As I said, I feel I see people, and I've labelled the collective psychosis that I keep referencing, and it's the collective psychosis that I blame for a lot of my problems. It causes me a lot of hardship on a daily basis. So So for a long time, well, I still am, I held a lot of hatred, a lot of resentment. But it was more like an active tone. So like, if life was hard and my circumstances were difficult, there was no way I was going to exert any extra energy to be pleasant. But this weird thing's been happening where I've just realised it's just so much easier to be nice to people, even if I don't like them. You know, even if I've got this problem with you all and blah blah blah. It's just more pleasant for myself to not have to think and be nice where possible. Obviously, if someone's really challenging me, I'm not a chance in hell. But I'm finding I'm being more and more polite without being there. So like, how can I put it? Imagine you're just like, you're preoccupied with something else and you're talking with somebody. You know, just hearing what they're saying on a very superficial basis and responding in a very superficial way. But that's the place where I would have given any extra energy, and I would have just spoken on the emotion that was in me, and it would have not been rude, but it would have had a certain tone to it. It wouldn't have been nice to listen to. Not that I would have intended to have been rude. But now it's like I'm speaking on programming, on habit, and the way I can speak, and it's just turning into like being polite all the time. So imagine hating people and being just like, would rather wish all sorts of negative things on them. So it's a really weird place, but it makes life easier. Don't know how long it will last, if it will last, but it's here at the moment. I'm in the live stream because I've only got 10%. Some YouTube when I eat my dinner. Got a packed lunch with me. So I'm going to say goodbye. Wish everybody, I'm not going to wish everybody anything because it won't be polite. But we've got a new week coming up, a new 7 days. And tomorrow's a new day, isn't it? Who knows? I might even be allowed to talk about something spiritual which uplifts me tomorrow.